Tropical storm Harvey causes flooding across the Caribbean. Our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Friday, August 18 from the CMC News Center in Bridgetown. I'm Ricardo Roberts. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines were in cleanup mode on Friday after Tropical Storm Harvey lashed the islands with heavy rains that caused flooding and gusty winds that blew off roofs and downed electricity poles and trees. The storm passed between Barbados and the Windward Islands on Thursday night before heading into the Caribbean Sea on Friday afternoon, by which time all tropical storm warnings and watches had been discontinued. The north of Barbados was hardest hit by Harvey, with massive flooding of streets and some homes in St. Lucie, St. Peter and parts of St. James. There were also reports of flooding in the southern parish of Christ Church. The director of Department of Emergency Management, Kerry Hines, said 2 people, a mother and son, checked into a shelter in the northern parish of St. Peter. The tropical storm warning that had been in effect for the island from the previous day was lifted about 8 a.m. and following an assessment by the relevant authorities, the all clear was given for business to resume at midday. Attorney General Adriel Braffett later toured some of the affected areas. Now, after passing Barbados, the storm headed near St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Director of the National Emergency Management Organization there, Michelle Ford, said there were several reports of flooding, with Beckway among the worst affected. Reports indicated that there were problems accessing businesses and homes which were flooded. Ford said a full assessment of the damage would be done on Saturday. There were also landslides reported in some parts of the island. Meantime, although St. Lucia also experienced showers, the island was spared the worst of Harvey. Still carrying maximum sustained winds near 40 miles per hour, Tropical Storm Harvey was moving into the eastern Caribbean Sea on Friday evening. The storm also had a major impact on the long-planned 13th Caribbean Festival of Arts, CariFesta, set to open in Barbados on Friday. The opening ceremony, which had been scheduled for 6 p.m. at Kensington Oval following a parade through the city, had to be postponed. Minister of Culture Stephen Lashley announced late Thursday that the country's preparations for the storm had forced the cancellation of the mandatory dress rehearsal, which was scheduled for Thursday evening, and steps also had to be taken to protect the equipment at the venue. And with some flights being cancelled, the arrival of some of the CariFesta delegates was also delayed. Lashley said a new date for the opening ceremony would be announced soon. Harvey's passage also resulted in a second day of Liat flight cancellations. A total of 16 flights, included 7 to Barbados, were called off on Friday. In other news now, the hold on the promotions of senior police officers in Guyana is engaging the attention of the High Court. Former Attorney General Anil Nandlal is challenging the directive that President David Granger gave to the Police Service Commission not to go ahead with the promotions. But Granger maintains the move is not meant to take away the powers of the Commissioner. Royden James of HGP Nightly News has the details of that story.
The President said he is not trying to trample on the rights of the Police Service Commission, but that damage could be done to the police force once persons who are not fit and proper are promoted. Mr. Granger said that he is in receipt of lots of complaints about some persons on that promotion list, and it is the view of his government that close attention should be paid to those complaints.
My concern is that we should prevent damage to the security infrastructure of this country. We have received lots of complaints, we've received information, and we feel that we need to pay attention to those complaints.
Mr. Granger was at the time responding to questions by Nightly News on the sidelines of an event at State House on Wednesday. Last week, the President, through Minister Joseph Harmon, instructed the Police Service Commission that police promotions for the year 2017 be put on hold. Many speculated that the move by the president was due to the ongoing commission of inquiry into the alleged assassination plot, while others speculated that it might have been the obvious omission of Acting Police Commissioner David Ramnarine from the promotion list.
So we're taking a second look at it. We want the Constitutional Commission to function efficiently, but at the same time we want to make sure that the public can depend on the decisions which come out of those commissions being in the best interest of the nation, in the public interest. And there have been some doubts, and we are investigating the complaints which have been made to us. And we've asked the Public Police Service Commission to simply delay so we can answer those queries. And once those queries are satisfactorily answered, we'll proceed.
The president said there is no intention on his part to impede the work of the commission, but the public interest is paramount and the public requires trusted officials in public posts, and that's adequate motivation for a second look at the promotion list.
There have been complaints. There is evidence that injustice might have been done, and we just want some time to ensure that those complaints are investigated.
The president stated that there is no witch hunting attempt afoot. Meanwhile, former Attorney General Anil Nandlal has threatened to challenge in court President Granger's advisory to the Police Service Commission if the instruction to put on hold the police promotions is not recalled.
You're watching Caribbean Newsline. A medical practitioner in Jamaica has been convicted of corruption. Dr. Jeffter Ford was found guilty of 2 counts of attempting to pervert the Court of Justice stemming from a bribery attempt that was recorded 3 years ago. Parish Judge Simone Wolfe handed down the verdict on Thursday, but sentencing for the doctor will come later. TVJ's Vashan Brown reports.
Dr. Ford was charged in 2014 following allegations that he attempted to bribe a member of the Revenue Protection Division (RPD) to release 2 Surinamese nationals who were arrested by the agency. The foreigners were held after they were found in possession of more than $533,000 and 1.3 million Jamaican dollars at a hotel in Kingston. The men were charged under the Proceeds of Crime Act after they were unable to explain how they came in possession of the money. Prosecutors reported that Dr. Ford contacted the investigator and promised him 40% of the cash if he released the men and the money. The RPD arranged a covert operation to capture Dr. Ford trying to bribe the investigator. Dr. Ford was captured on tape meeting with the investigator and urging him to release the men and the cash. The tape recordings were played at the trial. Dr. Ford did not challenge the recordings and admitted that it was him on the tape. He testified that he was trying to entrap corrupt cops who had arrested the Surinamese nationals. Dr. Ford claimed he had uncovered a plot by the cops to kill the foreigners while they were in custody. Judge Wolfe said she did not believe his story. Dr. Ford is to return on August 22 for the court to set a date for sentencing.
The Trinidad and Tobago government has reached out to the opposition about potential anti-crime measures. Acting Attorney General Stuart Young said correspondence was sent to Opposition Senator Gerald Ramdeen earlier this month concerning collaboration on legislation.
With respect to the anti-gang legislation, we also at that time took the opportunity to present the opposition with all of the statistical data that the government had with respect to gangs and what was going on with gangs, as well as a sworn affidavit of the Acting Commissioner of Police as to why the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is of the view that anti-gang legislation should be brought back to Parliament and passed.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley also wrote to opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar on Wednesday with a list of those measures which came out of discussions held between the government and opposition last month. Coming up in Caribbean Newsline, Venezuelan refugees in Trinidad and Tobago appealed to the Twin Island Republic's government to let them work. That story and more after the break. Stay with us.
Join the Caribbean Broadcasting Union and its regional and international partners at the CBU Annual General Assembly, August 21st through 24th at the British Colonial Hilton Hotel in Nassau, the Bahamas, under the theme Digital Developments in Caribbean Media. Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Dr. the Honorable Hubert Alexander Minnis, will welcome delegates during the opening ceremony. Guyana's Minister of Public Telecommunications, the Honorable Kathy Hughes, will offer a keynote address on digital developments in the region. See the launch of the UNESCO-sponsored Manual of Social Media Guidelines for Caribbean Journalists, with guest speaker Jamaica's Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn. And hear from international media players about the new developments in digital television standards in Europe, the US, and Japan. And this year's Caribbean Broadcasting Awards Gala at the Atlantis Resort Paradise Island is not to be missed. Call 246-430-1007 to book your space in the 3-day conference and exhibition. Don't miss the CBU 48th Assembly at the British Colonial Hilton Hotel in Nassau from August 21st through 24th. Discounts on flights to the assembly on the official airline, Caribbean Airlines.
The government of Dominica and Discover Dominica Authority welcomes you to the most unique Caribbean island, Dominica. Bursting with life, with energy, Dominica enraptures you in the vibrancy of the 20th edition of the World Creole Music Festival, October 27th, 28th, and 29th. Windsor Bank Sports Stadium, Roseau, Dominica, featuring Machel Montano, Sweet Mickey, Movado, Kalasha, Bungie and Fayan, Class, Kai, Zuko Stars, Roman Virgo, Itana, Issa Banton, Triple K International, Yemi Holiday, Mizikano All Stars, Breathe, Swinging Stars, and more. Be part of the spectacle. This is the World Creole Music Festival, held in the nature island of the world, Dominica. Season tickets US $125 or $325 EC. Nightly tickets US $48 or $120 EC. Visit DominicaFestivals.com, where you will yearn for more. C'est Mizikano.
Dominica.
We continue in Trinidad and Tobago. A family of Venezuelan refugees is asking the government there to allow them to make a living legally. Their homeland has been rocked by months of anti-government protests, resulting in more than 120 deaths and dozens of arrests. And the Venezuelans say they were forced to flee their homes as a result. While they say life in the Twin Island Republic is better, they lament that it's difficult to make ends meet. Akash Samaru of CNC3 News spoke to the family and has that report.
It's well known that Venezuelans have been fleeing their country due to a severe food shortage. But that's not what forced this family to leave. It was the political pressure and violence which forced them to trade their home and business in Venezuela for a one-bedroom apartment in Trinidad. And it all started when the mother refused to wear a Nicolas Maduro t-shirt.
Somebody called me and tell me, I killed you and your family. If you no do that all when I want. When I open my store, all is broke, is rob my business, rob everything. The next days, the people call me. Now I go for your house. Now I go for your family. You know, when I go to police, the police no do nothing. Corruption.
Now she alone has refugee status in this country.
En las protestas, gente que muere, gente que ha sido herida, sana la Señor con tu mano sanadora, Señor.
But she brought over her children because, like many Venezuelans, they believe there's nothing left for them in their country.
In Venezuela, the people working for nothing. Your money, your salary is only. You can buy, if you buy something for yourself, if you buy one rice or one chicken, only you can eat one day.
But life did not get significantly better for the family here in Trinidad. Firstly, they say they have to deal with a social stigma.
When I go on the street, the people all time think, maybe, no, that's a Venezuelan is prostitute. When I walk for the street, the man all time, Venezuela, how much is, how much? It's a bad attitude.
And they say due to their refugee status, it's difficult to get work in this country.
I don't have house here. I want to work. I want to open one business here. I want to buy my car. I want to open one account in the bank. I cannot that.
With nowhere to earn an income, the family has had to rely on the benevolence of others. One of those people is Venezuelan-born Hedezi Gotachi.
I have a database that I built, by myself. And that is how they were, they are getting all the food, they're getting sheets, they're getting towels. They can get me, they can call me at 683-7892. And I will make myself available to go and collect whatever donations they can have.
But one local who has been assisting the immigrant community in finding homes, work and schools for their children says it is important that in giving them opportunities, we do not exploit them.
For example, there's a refugee who works for 120 TT dollars and another one 136 TT dollars for 12 hours work.
They say they know some Trinbagonians believe they should go home. And they say they will one day. But right now, that is not.
Search and rescue operations are continuing in Haiti after 6 women drowned when the sailboat capsized on Thursday. The local Civil Protection Agency representative, Jose Retron, said 23 people have so far been rescued after the boat sank off the Canal de la Tortue. At least 10 others are missing. Retron said the boat overturned in rough seas as it was carrying people on a regular route between the island of La Tortue and Port de Paix. He said officials believe about 40 people were on board, but there was no manifest. The vessel used as ferries in that area are frequently overloaded and poorly maintained. And ahead in Newsline Sport, West Indies struggle on the second day of the day-night opening test against England. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
60 years ago, we started greatness.
Now it's time to celebrate greatness. Antigua's Carnival 2017, July 28th to August 8th, celebrating great pageantry, mass, pan, calypso, soca, celebrating culture, celebrating the Caribbean's greatest summer festival, Antigua's 60th anniversary carnival, powered by Flow.
Do you want a real Barbadian experience with peace and tranquility? A home away from home feeling? Come and stay at Best E Villas. We offer 2 amazing locations to choose from, Prospect St. James or Christchurch. Plan a staycation for your anniversary, birthdays, summer or winter breaks, or any special event. Best E Villas is located in close proximity to our lovely beaches. Call us now at 246-425-9751 or visit us at bestevillas.com and make your booking for the best in villas.
In a place where legends start, the beach is just the beginning. So live a little for the exhilaration and the color of every moment, where time is and life is a spirited event. Immerse yourself in the culture, the music, the people, the island. Love Antigua and Barbuda. Embrace an experience that leaves you breathless, from cricket to sailing week to carnival and more. Antigua and Barbuda, the beach is just the beginning.
West Indies lost Craig Brathwaite cheaply to find themselves struggling at the end of the second day of the day-night opening test against England on Friday. Now, replying to the hosts' mammoth 514-for-8 declared, the Windies are on 44-for-1 and facing a long battle to survive at the contest at Edgbaston. Now left with an hour to survive before tea, the Caribbean side lost Brathwaite in the third over, nicking a defensive prod at Jimmy Anderson outswinger to the wicketkeeper. Debutant Kyle Hope was unbeaten on 7 and partnered by opener Kieran Powell on 5. Earlier, off-spinner Roston Chase claimed 4 for 113 as England added 65 runs while losing 4 wickets after resuming from 449 for 4 at tea. Opener Alistair Cook, unbeaten on 213, was the last of the 4 wickets to fall when he went LBW to Chase on review, prompting the declaration. Seema Kimar Roach claimed 2 for 86. Over to action in the Caribbean Premier League, where defending champions Jamaica Talawas pulled off a thrilling 2-run victory against Guyana Amazon Warriors in what was a repeat of last year's final. Batting first at the Guyana National Stadium, the Talawas put on a modest total of 128 for 7 in their allotted 20 overs. Now, opening batsman Glenn Phillips top scored with a half-century from 47 balls. All-rounder Stephen Jacobs had figures of 2 for 18 as the pick of the bowling for the Warriors. Here's how the Talawas batted in the first innings.
That's why also they wanted to have a bowl, just to see how it would play out. So because it had no pace and it was keeping quite low, difficult to find the boundary, although Lendl Simmons did early. And against Rashid Khan, you flew all the way over here just to see this guy play.
And then he did that. Very next ball, he got hit for 6, and then the man from Afghanistan, absolutely magnificent wrong and got through. He bowled well throughout. He was the standout bowler. He was a little bit expensive at times, but they just worked their way into the innings with some clever batting, but then the big man started to get the ball to turn as well, Jacobs.
He did, coming back into this game as well, so really good selection for this match. 2 massive, massive wickets. So I know the selectors will be happy with themselves. Rashid came on, still found the outside edge, even though this one found the boundary, but kept asking questions right throughout the innings.
This man who opened up was fantastic at the top of the order, and then there was problems in the middle of the order. Rodman Power came in, and there he is again. Now, the Afghanistani, he can do nothing wrong. A wonderful catch, some late runs, very valuable.
Most definitely. That was Jonathan Fu, once again, 20 off just the 12 deliveries, really started to get things motoring along. That was 51 to Glenn Phillips, batted so beautifully well.
Yeah, he was absolutely fantastic, Phillips, in only his second game in the CPL. His was the standout innings. A nice little late cameo from Fu as well. Got some late runs. It even looked like it was going to be enough, the total they were putting on the board, but a tough pitch to score on. Another magnificent wrong and by Rashid as well.
Yeah, most definitely. Kumar Sangakkara said at the top that he wanted 140. I think that was probably out of the contention, but when you've got 128 on the board at the end, you're just starting to think that that might just be enough. With a couple of wickets, a little flurry of wickets at the end.
In their reply, Amazon Warriors reached the stage where they needed just 8 runs to win, but they couldn't get over the line as Seema Kesrick Williams bowled a superb last over. He conceded a mere 5 runs while picking up 2 wickets to fire Talawas to their 4th win in 5 outings.
It was all down to the Warriors' run chase.
Walton came out alongside his captain, Martin Guptill. He was the aggressor early. They had a wonderful opening partnership that in some ways seemed to set the game on fire. I nearly set myself on fire while we were at it.
I still can't believe you did it. You're a madman.
Yeah, some fantastic stroke play by Walton. He's been the leading run scorer this season for the Warriors. Sangakkara was the first of many drop catches.
It was unbelievable. This is the reason why you're still trying to figure out how they managed to keep themselves in the game, because a number of catches went down. Meanwhile, Guptill continued to go. There's another one dropped, and that was a little bit of a painful one at that. So was that, because Imad Wazim had to leave the field for a little bit as well.
They were still cruising along. They had plenty of wickets in hand, and then Kesrick Williams got the first wicket with the first of many slower balls. They got a second wicket with Martin Guptill not too far away, and things just started to flow for them.
Yeah, it did. It was a crucial part of the game, wasn't it? And that was the big one. Martin Guptill, the set player in, double wicket, the 2 set players, and then all of a sudden it meant that the next 2 in, Muhammad and Babar Azam, had to really make sure that that partnership really built.
This is Muhammad, a man that normally hits the gaps. That was a massive hero maximum. Babar Azam started to try and get into it, and again, poor fielding by Jonathan Fu. We thought this would cost the Talawas the game.
Yeah, it was the intensity. There just didn't seem to be any of it from Jamaica, as well, the hero in the innings, Glenn Phillips, puts down a reasonably easy one as well. There's another misfield in which they got back for 2, and this was hysterical.
Well, we thought this could be the match right here. Man on the fence, wonderful effort, throws it back. Lendl Simmons drops it and kicks it away from himself, so they got back for a 3.
The first 3 of the match.
Babar Azam hold out on the fence to Power. It came down to it. They needed 3 off the last delivery. Kesrick Williams was in fantastic form, and the ball went up.
It did. Primus had to face the last delivery. 2 for a super over, 3 for the win. Found Griffiths, and he was off. All the Jamaican players were onto the ground. Everyone was running everywhere. It was absolute chaos. The fans can't believe it. Yeah.
Staying with the CPL, Darren Sammy has been sacked as captain of the St. Lucia Stars paying the price for the franchise's woeful start to the tournament. Sammy, who has led the St. Lucia franchise from its inception, has been replaced by Australian all-rounder Shane Watson. Indian-American businessman Jay Pandya, who purchased the franchise ahead of the new season, said while Sammy was a key member of the unit, there was a need for change in the leadership following the poor run of form. Stars had lost their first 6 matches of the campaign to find themselves bottom of the 6-team table with virtually no chance of making the playoffs. Stars lost the curtain raiser to current leaders Trinbago Knight Riders by 9 wickets before also going down to the same team in the return game in Port of Spain. They then shockingly lost their remaining 4 home games at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground, showing little of the form that took them to the playoffs last year. Sammy's form has been patchy. He has scored 123 runs from 6 innings with a highest total of 60 not out. Now, despite his removal as skipper, the franchise confirmed Sammy would remain a member of the setup. That's the sport. We'll be right back.
Excuse me there. Listen, I hear something about this comedy show. What really is? What is?
It's all about Carrie Festa 2017!
Peoples, it's the Caribbean Comedy Explosion, Saturday, August 26th at the Sir Garfield Sober Gymnasium. ITM Fancy Cat from Jamaica, the legendary Larry Joseph from Trinidad and Tobago, and he's bringing along the new funny man, Kenneth Chinese Super Sad, with Dolores Alexander, the Drunken Saint, and Darren Mendoza, and the daddy of all comedy daddies, Errol Fabian. And Guyana got to be there, people. They're bringing Jumbi and Odessa Primus. That's right. And bringing it home is Trevor Dynamite, Eastman Lafitar, Romeco, Queen Archibald Cox, and special guest Stiffy. General admission $65, and the IMF will be there. IMF Bengal is your MC. MC is mad and crazy. The Caribbean Comedy Explosion, Saturday, August 26th, the Garfield Stolber's Gymnasium. People, get your tickets from official box offices only.
Do you want a real Barbadian experience with peace and tranquility? A home away from home feeling? Come and stay at Best E Villas. We offer 2 amazing locations to choose from, Prospect St. James or Christchurch. Plan a staycation for your anniversary, birthdays, summer or winter breaks, or any special event. Best E Villas is located in close proximity to our lovely beaches. Call us now at 246-425-9751 or visit us at bestevillas.com and make your booking for the best in villas.
Again, the major developments of this day: Tropical Storm Harvey moves away from the Windward Islands after causing heavy flooding in Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And in sport, West Indies left struggling at the end of the second day of the day-night opening test against England. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sports round the clock, log on to carnenews.com. We'll be back here again on Monday, but from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching. Have yourselves a good night.